Hi, I am Tiara Sawyers. I work in the Gulfport School District, and I am here to talk with you about organ systems. Let's get started. The standards covered in this lesson are Standard L.4.1, where students will demonstrate an understanding of the organization, functions, and interconnections of the major body systems, and L.4.1.1, where students will use technology or other resources to research and discover general system function as they relate to human organ systems and identify organs that work together to create organ systems. Essential questions. What are organ systems? What are the functions of each system? I can statement. I can identify different types of organ systems and its functions. I can discover that human organ systems are similar to other cycles and systems. Now, before we discuss the types of organ systems that we have in our bodies, we're going to talk about the organization of the human body. Well, you might ask, how is the human body organized? Well, we start off with cells. Cells are the most basic unit of life, and there are trillions of cells in our bodies, but there are 200 different types, about 200 different types of cells out of those trillions. And each of those cells have a specific function, okay? Then we have tissues. Tissues are a group of cells that work together to carry out a specific function. And we have four main types of tissues in our bodies, and that would be the epithelial tissue, which provide a covering, the muscle tissues that help your muscles to contract, and your nervous tissues that help to communicate messages to other parts of your body, and then your connective tissues that help to connect or bind different types of tissues together. Then we have organs. Organs are a group of tissues in a living organism that has a specific function and a specific form. All right, so I'm pretty sure you can think of different organs in your body. You have your heart, you have your lungs, your kidneys, your pancreas. I'm pretty sure you can think of other types of organs in your body. But while you're sitting there thinking about it, just know that your skin is going to be your biggest organ that you have. Now, after organs, we have our organ systems. Okay, now organ systems are groups of organs that work together to carry out a complex function, a difficult task. Okay, and so I know you probably heard of different organ systems, like the digestive system that helps us break down foods and get rid of waste. And then we have like our respiratory system that helps us breathe. Let's make sure we understand how the body is organized. First, we have cells, and then a group of cells together make tissues. A group of tissues together create organs, and organs together create the organ system. All right, and so that is how our human bodies are organized. So let's talk about the organ systems and its functions. Now, in our bodies, we have 11 types of organ systems. So we have the circulatory system, the digestive system, the immune system, the reproductive system, the respiratory system, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the excretory system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, and the lymphatic system. All right, so those are the 11 types of organ systems that we have. Now, we are only going to talk about a good 6 or 7 of them today, okay? So let's start with the skeletal system. Now, your skeletal system consists of your bones. We have about 206 bones in our bodies. And its primary function, the primary function of the skeletal system, is to provide our bodies with strength and structure. Could you imagine what our bodies would be like without bones? Well, let me give you an idea. We would look like flubber. Flubber. Just a blob of jelly. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be like that. So I'm thankful for the skeletal system. And our skeletal system also protects our internal organs. So your skull, that is a bone, it protects your brain. Then you have your rib cage that protects the heart and the lungs. Now the muscular system. The muscular system consists of your muscles, and we have over 650 muscles in our body. Now, I'm pretty sure that you know when we use our muscles, our muscles are helping us to move. And so our muscles cover our bones, and we have three types of muscles in our bodies. We have smooth muscle, we have cardiac muscle, and we have skeletal muscles. Okay, and those three types of muscles, they all have a specific function. Okay, so smooth muscles, they help you to, like, think about your digestive system, how you are eating food and you're breaking down food. Well, your smooth muscle is going to help with getting that food moving to your other organs that's in the digestive system. And then you have your cardiac muscles, which keeps your heart pumping. We need those muscles. And then we have our skeletal muscles, okay? Your skeletal muscles, they help provide support and structure, okay? And before we leave the muscular system, I want you to know that it does take 43 muscles to frown and only 17 to smile. So I hope this encourages you to smile a whole lot more, just like me. All right, the circulatory system. The circulatory system consists of your blood vessels and your heart. Okay, now your primary function of the circulatory system is going to be to circulate blood throughout the body. Now your heart, we know our heart pumps that blood, and the blood vessels is going to carry the blood throughout your body. Now, why is blood important? Blood keeps our bodies alive, and it carries oxygen and nutrients to our cells. It's very, 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 very important. Now, here we also see a picture of what our heart actually looks like. So I know growing up I used to think my heart looked like the heart shape, but it does not. This is what your heart looks like here in this picture. Now your respiratory system, that's going to consist of your nose, your mouth, and your lungs. And its primary function is to help us breathe. We need this system. When we inhale, we are using the diaphragm. All right, the diaphragm is the muscle we use to inhale. And also when we inhale, we're taking in oxygen. And when we exhale, which means we're breathing out, we are cleaning out the waste gas called carbon dioxide from our blood cells. We want to get rid of that carbon dioxide. We can't have too much of it in our bodies, or it's going to be harmful for us. So every time we breathe out, we are breathing out carbon dioxide. Now, I did say it is a gas, so you cannot see it. You cannot see that carbon dioxide, but understand you are breathing out carbon dioxide when you exhale. Now your digestive system, that's going to consist of your tongue, your stomach, your esophagus, your liver, your intestines. We have a small intestines and a long intestines. And then we have our gallbladder, the pancreas, the salivary glands. Now, its primary function, the digestive system's primary function, is to help break down food, release nutrients, and eliminate waste from our bodies. Okay, So the moment you start eating food is you are starting your digestive system. Okay? And so when you eat, it goes into your mouth. You start chewing, your salivary glands, they produce your saliva, which helps break down that food to get it down the esophagus to your stomach. And in the stomach, that food is still being broken down by stomach acids. Okay? And then you have your short intestines, which takes the nutrients from those foods and stores them. We need nutrients. Nutrients are going to be your minerals and your vitamins from your food, and the energy that we get from food. We need that stored in our body. So that's what the small intestines does. And then after the small intestines takes what it needs, the rest of it goes to the long intestines. Anything that needs to be removed, the food we don't need anymore, goes to the long intestines, and it is eventually removed from the body. Some good information there. All right, and then we have our nervous system. Our nervous system consists of our brain, our spinal cord, and our nerves. And its primary function is that it helps different parts of our body communicate and allows the brain to be in control. All right, so your brain tells us how to think, how to feel, how to move. That's what the brain likes to do. It likes to be in control. Now, as far as our nerves, we have two types of nerves in our bodies. We have motor nerves, which allows the brain to control our muscles, and then we have our sensory nerves, which carry signals to the brain to let it know what is happening in the outside world. So what I mean by the outside world is like when we're at home, say your mom or dad is cooking and that stove is hot, and they say, do not touch that stove. And what do? We have the instinct to touch the stove anyway, in spite of what our parents have told us not to do. We touch that stove and we realize that that stove is hot, and then we remove our hand quickly. Your nerves is what helps us know. Your sensory nerves is what helps us know that it's hot. Or say there's a fire somewhere. How do we know that there's a fire? Well, first we see it and we smell it. And that helps us to know that there's a fire and we need to get out the way. Okay? All right. So that's the nervous system. I hope that after we've talked about these six organ systems, that you guys have learned about something about its functions. Each organ system has a function. And now we're going to relate how different types of organ systems can relate to systems or cycles that are not part of our human body. All right, so let's start. Let's start with the excretory system. Now, I didn't talk about the excretory system in my previous slides, but we're going to talk about it here. What is the excretory system and what is its function? Its function is to purify liquid and remove waste from the body. All right, and so its organs, it takes many organs to for that organ system to properly function. So it uses the kidneys, the bladder, and the urethra. All right, and so there is something that we can relate this organ system to, and I would relate it to the water cycle. All right, so the water cycle, its function is to cycle water through different stages. And when it cycles water through different stages, it eventually results in water purification. So it also purifies water, which is a liquid. And it also is composed of different components. All right, so you have your sun, the clouds, the landforms, the ground, the bodies of water, and plants. It takes all of those things for the water cycle to properly function. So how are the excretory system and the water cycle similar? Well, first they both take many components. They have many components that work together to make the system work properly. And second, they both purify water or liquids. All right, that was fun. Let's do another one. Let's see. I think I want to go with the upper digestive system. Let's talk about the upper digestive system. The upper digestive system's function is to take food and break it down into more manageable and digestible pieces. All right, so remember I told you your digestive system starts the moment you put food into your mouth. All right, and so its components, its organs, it's the esophagus, the tongue, your mouth, and then you need your teeth and your saliva to help the upper digestive system work properly. All right, so what can we relate the upper digestive system to? Well, I'm going to give you a hint. It is something in the kitchen. It's something in the kitchen that also breaks down food. Let me give you a second just to think about that. Well, if you said garbage disposal, you are right. So I would compare the upper digestive system to the garbage disposal. Now, the function of the garbage disposal is to take food, grind it up into smaller pieces so that it can travel down the pipes in a more easily way. All right, so it also consists of different components. The sink, you need the blades. The blades is what chops it up. You need the motor, the pipes, and water. Now, if you're going to use the garbage disposal, of course, with your parents' permission, you definitely need to make sure you turn water on when you turn on the garbage disposal, because that water is going to help break down that food easily. All right, and so you need to turn on that water when you are using the garbage disposal. All right, so how are these two systems similar? Well, they both break down food, and they both are comprised of different components that work together for the system to work properly. All right, so that was some good stuff right there. We're going to go ahead and end it here. I hope that you learned a lot about organ systems, and I just hope you learned a lot about your human body, because there's so much to the human body that we need to learn, and I hope I gave you a head start by learning about how the body is organized and the organ systems and its functions. Thank you for tuning in.